Hey everyone, Rob here from Gunfather Milsim, and today I'm going to talk about weapons flow. Now, what is a weapons flow? Weapons flow is how I move my weapon around my body, and more importantly, around other teammates, other players that are on my team around me, so I can do it safely without endangering them. Now, I have two big pet peeves in Airsoft when it comes to how Airsoft players handle their weapons. The first one I've already covered in another video. It's called the anti-fratricide rule. I'll put a link in the description below, but the short version is, if this is a bad guy, and this is a good guy, and this is another good guy, this good guy can't shoot at that bad guy from here because he's endangering this guy. Okay, it's not cool. What you need to do is move up like that, or better yet, online with this person so they can safely engage him. That's anti-fratricide in a nutshell. Take a look at the longer video below if you want to know more about it. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about weapons flow. Weapons flow all stems from one of the fundamental rules of firearm safety. Never point your muzzle at anything you don't intend to destroy. Now, airsoft replicas are not firearms. They can't kill anybody, but they can hurt people, and we don't want to injure people we don't intend to shoot at. We don't want to injure people on our own team because friendly fire counts. Okay? So we're going to learn to handle our weapons like professionals. So I was recently watching some airsoft videos. I think it was on Instagram or something, and these guys were, doing some room clearing, and it was all staged, of course, which is fine. And it looks like hot garbage because the second they're more than 2 feet apart from each other, they just start muzzling the shit out of each other. Like, it doesn't matter because they think that if they're heading in a direction, if they're looking into a room or something, they just have to point the gun at it. That's the way things are done. And when everybody's pointing their gun and they're moving, changing direction, they are muzzling the shit out of each other. Now, in real-world SWAT operations, does muzzling each other happen? Yes. It's not common. It does happen. That's just the reality of people handling real firearms around each other. But it is to be avoided, okay? And the way we avoid it is grilled into us early on in our firearms training. This is like recruit level training. This isn't, SWAT basic or SWAT advanced. This is just basic recruit level. When you learn how to handle firearms and how handling them around other people, we learn these basics of weapons flow. So the first thing we're going to cover in weapons flow is how we carry our firearm when we're like the guy in front. Okay, so we don't have to worry about anything. Everything in front of us is bad guy or unknown. All the good guys are behind us. Okay, this is my ICSM-4 Captain, Airsoft, not loaded. Okay, first thing we'll cover is low ready. Okay, toe of the stock in the shoulder. Weapon is down, okay, just slightly, just a couple degrees. Why? So I can see what I'm looking at. 99.99% of the things I encounter in the real world application, I'm not going to shoot. Now, airsoft players tend to be on their sights as they pie around corners all the time. It obstructs your vision. You can't see anything down low. Okay. Now, I'm not telling you that if you know for a fact there's a bad guy there because he just shot at you, you shouldn't come around the corner on sights already. By all means, go right ahead. But if it's an unknown room or an unknown risk, get that weapon down slightly so you can see. Okay, that's low ready. It's kind of my preference. Another option is high ready. You don't see this one as often. Some people just like it. Some people think it's just easier to snap in like that and they come up like this. I'm a low ready guy because I'm kind of old school. So low ready, high ready. Okay, then we got a couple other ones. We have high carry. I'm not a big fan of high carry. If I'm using high carry, it's because I'm running, okay, and I have to cover distance quickly. That's the only time I use high carry. Some people, this is like their default when they're in a crowded area and they're moving around. They like using high carry, okay. The other one is sul or flat stock. Okay, sul is a Portuguese word. It's from Brazil, from the police officers that are trained to clear the favelas. It's very, very, very risky CQB stuff. When they're teaching cops to safely point their weapons in a safe direction, they say put it in position sul, which means south. It's Portuguese, means straight down. Now, the reason I got to go flat stock and turn the weapon sideways is because there's a magazine and a grip here, and of course the toe of the stock. I can only go down so low this way, and I can't go any further down angle-wise. See? If I want to get it really low to the ground, I got to go flat stock and go down like this. So why would I use position sul? Well, if I'm in a stack, if I'm like second, third, whatever, fourth, not the first guy, and there's a guy in front of me and I can reach out and touch him, he's that close, and I'm at a low ready, my muzzle is going to be pointing at the back of his legs. Huge no-no, okay? If I'm going high ready, and he's a lot taller than me, or even a little taller than me, my muzzle is now pointed at the back of his noggin. Also a big no-no. So what are our two safe options here? Sewell, okay, or flat stock, whatever you want to call it, and high carry. This way my muzzle is either pointed up or down and not at the back of this guy's head. Tracking? Okay. So what if I have to move around that guy in front of me? And generally speaking, airsoft players are really good when the person's like right in front of them, like reach out and touch them. They don't muzzle them. They're pretty good about it. Although they do muzzle the back of the guy's legs off, and as I just covered. But the problem is once that person moves like 4 or 5 feet away, they just tend to just flag the shit out of the guy, because once he's out of arm's reach, it's like he doesn't exist anymore. No, that's still a person whose safety you're responsible for, and you don't muzzle that person with your weapon. So how do I move around? So let's pretend I'm here, and there's a guy in front of me who you can't obviously see, and I want to move from the right side of this person to the left side of this person because maybe a hallway opens up and I got to go cover that exposure. Okay, I'm here. I got two options. I can go flat stock, come up on the other side, okay, like that, or I can go high carry, come down on the other side. Okay, flat stock, high carry. That's where we use those two movements. Basically, all I want to do is never point that muzzle at the back of the person right in front of me. I'm never going to do this. Okay, huge no-no. Really simple stuff, and it goes a long way to, sharpen the way things look when you play airsoft. It's also safer. Okay, handle your weapons like professional. Now, what's the other thing that can happen? Well, people in front of us can move across my muzzle. Okay, happens all the time. It's not that person's fault. They're not the one who's responsible. It's my job to make sure that my fire is always safe. My muzzle is always pointed in a safe direction as far as my comrades are concerned. So if I'm working with somebody and he's over here and he's clearing and he's working, and all of a sudden he goes over here in a big hurry, I got to assume the reason he's going there is important. For whatever reason, he's going that way. Ideally, he knows I'm here, and he says crossing your line, crossing your muzzle, crossing, whatever. So it gives me a hint that, hey, this guy's coming across my line. But all I got to do when he comes across, weapon down, weapon back up. Real easy. Or weapon up, weapon back down, whichever you prefer. Okay, don't just sit there and let the guy cross your muzzle, pointing your muzzle at him. Get your muzzle out of the way. Real simple stuff. So that's all I have on weapons flow. Kind of a pet peeve of mine is that, airsoft players, everybody wants to dress up like a Navy SEAL. Everybody wants to look operator as fuck. You want to dress the part, but you don't want to learn the skills and practice the techniques that will make you look like a professional when you're handling your airsoft replica. These translate into real firearms as well. Let's respect these replicas. Let's respect what we're doing and handle the weapons like professionals, okay? Take the time to learn the techniques and be safe when you handle them. Okay? That's why we're going to use weapons flow. When we put 10, 12 people into a structure, CQB environment, and they all got long guns, it is really critical that everybody know how to handle these weapons correctly and safely as to not muzzle your comrades. If you like my content, you want to support it, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. You know how YouTube works. Or better yet, buy some of my merchandise. Everything you buy supports all the content that I make on my channel. Go to unsavorytees.com, go under Unsavory Army, and look under Gunfather Milsim. You'll find all my merchandise there. I sell patches, I sell t-shirts, and I sell Gunfather bungee slings like this one I'm wearing here. Thanks for watching.